Hi, folks. This is Don Meissner with the North Country Fishing Report. Well, we've just had one of the most incredible experiences with an organization coming to Messina. For the first time they ever came north, they're called the National Professional Fishing League, NPFL. And I'll tell you, it was an incredible experience for us. And one of the things that they left their mark here was with fish care. And I have Linda with me today, and Linda, you're real good friends with Barb Elliott, and they had made her the manager of their fish care part of the tournament that they had. And go ahead, tell us what you take from this.
I'll just add something to that, Don. I've worked with you for a number of years now on tournaments, and I know that you're very dedicated to making sure that there's ice and there is care of the fish, that they're put on water immediately after they come off the stage. But this particular tournament brought the entire level of fish care to a whole new level, because you had someone who fully understands. Barb Elliott has created a fizz kit, and she fully understands the importance of keeping them cool, fizzing them so that the bends that causes them to go belly up, they can right themselves and they can breathe and they can swim away.
We've talked about this before and how critical this is. And a lot of people, I still don't think, understand the necessity to fizz these fish. But this organization did. They wanted to leave this area just like they found it. And we talked to them a lot before coming up here. And when they decided to have Barb, this was a massive. I'll tell you what, this event had less fish killed than any event I can ever remember because of the efforts of this organization and Barb.
Mm-hmm. And if you were to watch, I observed how this unfolded. The fish were taken out of their live wells because the boats were coming through on parade. So the fish were taken from live wells to the stage very briefly and weighed.
They were just lifted up to the stage, really, because the boats pulled right up to the edge of the stage in a parade effect. It was really impressive. And they told me beforehand that the fish would be handled less than any other tournament style. And I had to see this to really understand, wow, these fish are just coming out of their live well right there on stage. Mm-hmm. They weigh them, and then they're given to another person that gets them down the steps and onto the release boat, where Barb is up there by the tanks observing the bass that they dump into the big massive aquarium style tank in the boat, and anything that comes that kind of acts like they're not going to make it, she immediately addresses and starts fizzing them. And
yes,
the number of bass that are saved is extraordinary.
Yes, but I could add a couple more points to this, Dawn. She did a training the day before competition started, and she demonstrated to the anglers exactly what is required when you fizz a fish. She also had fizz kits for sale with, the necessary directions and the needle to release the pressure from the fish bladder. She not only did the instruction, but talked individually with anglers if they needed some help. And the days of the event, she was on the release boat, measuring the water temperature, ensuring that ice was brought over and kept that water at between 68 to 70 degrees. All of this coming from a person of great knowledge who shared that knowledge to ensure that the fishery was maintained.
Well, here's something. I want to give so much praise to this NPFL. This organization is incredible.
Yeah.
And when you say she did training, they organized this so that on one of the days of practice, they had these anglers come in and be subject to be trained by Barb on how to fizz, because these anglers came from states all around the country. They weren't from New York State, and they're not familiar with this in some cases. They had no idea how to fizz these fish.
No.
And I heard a lot of them, they kept saying to Barb, and you've taught us exactly where to put this, and this, she raised their confidence level that they don't need her on the boat with them. They can do this themselves.
Exactly.
And that's the beauty about this fizzing.
Yes. Yes, and it's sort of like that quote, you can give a person a loaf of bread, but if you teach him how to grow his own bread, he's self-sustaining and he can be self-sufficient. And these anglers were given a new bit of information that helped them be even better, not only in competition, but in their working with their young children when they try to teach them how to fish.
Well, what I think is the most important thing here is when we do a tournament, we know that people from all over the state are concerned. They see all these hundreds of bass boats out in the water, and they know they're catching probably each one of them 5 fish a day. That's the limit New York State allows them to keep. But we all want to know, we want to make sure that our species are protected. And these are some of the steps that working together with these tournament organizations and the towns that bring them in, we have a responsibility to protect our fish for not only us, but for all the public that shares in the same fishery. This isn't just to make it great for tournaments, it's to make it great for all the people that live along this area and want to go out fishing. And that's our responsibility. And I take that very, very personally. And it's so important to me.
Yes.
So anyway, this is another big part of what we wanted to share, the fish care that this organization put forth to keep our fish in the river swimming healthily so that we can all catch them. Until next time, folks, this is Don Meissner and Linda with the North Country Fishing Report.